Thank you all. All of you know that the International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy was formed by a group of homeopathic lovers, students and homeopathic doctors at the time of pandemic named COVID, and there was no time to meet one another. At the time we started these sessions, and we were able to communicate with one another. We got a lot of friends from different part of the world, and particularly from Germany. Dr. Beatrice is here. She has presented so many presentations, so many international presentations were presented, papers on different subjects, not only homeopathic doctors, doctors from other side also, and eminent public personalities also presented sessions in our forum. All the presentations were excellent. We are having 3 sessions in a row. Just we completed our Hindi session that began from 7 to 8, and now it is the time for the international session in 8 to 9, and then we will have a session in Malayalam and local language at 9 to 10. All the sessions are going in a good way. We have very eminent guests are coming and joining our sessions and presenting various subjects. And today we are lucky to have Dr. Amir Nasir Malik from Pakistan, one of the hero who has presented so many sessions in our forum, and he has participated in so many discussions also. And he has completed his BSc chemistry and then MSc biochemistry and then DHMS and RHMB. And he's the chief physician at Malik Homeo Heritage Clinic, Pakistan, and he is the Ambassador of Health and Humanity, Irawa, UK, a member, Supreme Council, Irawa, UK, OPS cabinet member. He is proud to say that he is an IFPH member and BLS King's University, UK, and American Heart Association, USA. He has got MS scholarship from Mount and William University, USA, Asia Panel, ISD, NACE member, National Academy of Young Scientists, etc. And today he will be presenting some of his brilliant cases, particularly on nerve laceration. So we proudly welcome our guest of the day, Dr. Amir Nasir Malik. Welcome, doctor. But he is not joined, so we will have a discussion with Dr. Beatrice because she is here. There are some development. Once Dr. Amir Malik joins, we will be able to go with the presentation. As you all know that there is a heavy rain or some other calamities is going in there. So that may be the reason he is not joined. I have tried to call him, but couldn't connect. So let us have a chat, a discussion for some of the problem homeopathy faces. As you all know that there was a time that the homeopathy is to be banned in Germany or some other part of the world. So let us know what is the real situation in Germany now. We welcome Dr. Beatrice GESNER from Germany. She is also one of the first person who is always there from the very beginning of this IFPH. Yes. I shall make you co-host. Soon I shall make you co-host. Please wait. Because as I was managing the session, I couldn't make all of you. All of a sudden, what you host, please make. Please 1 minute. Yes, you are the co-host now.
Let's try.
Yes, yes,
Let's
yes.
try. No,
Welcome,
okay.
Dr. BEATRICS. Just a few minutes.
Yes,
1 minute I will take. Welcome. Nice meeting you at Dubai. And
Yes.
I only wanted to invite you to come to Patna in next year, February, in our international seminar. This is my request to you. kindly make a plan to come to India.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dr.
Now
Zahani.
you continue, madam.
Yes, it was a great pleasure to meet you in Dubai. It was an impression.
Yeah, I remember.
Thank
Always
you.
I see your face, I recall our memory of the Dubai.
That's true. That's true. That's so special if we meet and we have contact. I've been in Latin America now. I met some colleagues in Buenos Aires, where is the best school of Latin America. It was very impressive, Dr. Sahani. Very impressive. They showed me the school and also we had interesting talks together on the other side of this world. It was very nice also. So yes, thank you, Dr. Dhanesh. I can tell that first of all, here in Germany, we don't have any problems with our patients. That's the most important thing. Everybody can come and can get treatment. That's no problem. And they will never be able to forbid us as medical doctors to treat with homeopathy or to treat with acupuncture and all these things. This is very clear. As they try to put down homeopathy in the public, they also tried now. There's a special organization of skeptical doctors. I'm not sure whether they are paid by Big Pharma, but I think so. But there's a special organization who are always trying to attack. So they went last week. We had our National Congress of medical doctors in Germany, allopathic doctors. I never go there. You have to be elected to go there. And this little organization made a point on the daily map. They want to discuss homeopathy. So obviously there had been a big discussion, and at the end they want the allopathic doctors want that the insurance companies don't pay anymore. That's the point. It's financial point. Because at the moment we are very lucky in Germany. The insurance companies pay the national and the private. So there was a big discussion, and at the end, the votation was 45% for staying in the homeopathy, staying in the insurance security, and 55% for not staying. But 10% did not vote. So more or less it was 50-50, which is a good sign, I also feel. So now they will have to go the legal process, and we will see. But by no way we can say that homeopathy is banned here in our country.
So that's a state.
Yes.
Yes, that's a very good news. But homeopathy is not banned in Germany, but the only thing is that you cannot get the insurance coverage for the treatment. Where you can practice homeopathy, but you cannot.
Yes.
The patient will not get the.
But at the moment they still get. It's just a vote of the National Congress of Allopathic Doctors to the Minister of Health to start certain legal things that they would not pay. But it's a process, and perhaps it will stay like it is. It's just a big media thing, media.
Yes, yes,
But
yes. The
but
media
at the
are
same
making.
time, yes. But at the same time, our organization, or homeopathic organization, is providing against that. We go legal steps. Also, the organization of anthroposophic doctors go with us. So it's in a certain way also good news, because we have a strong discussion, and it's, as you see, 50-50.
Yes, that's a good sign that the 50-50 support is something great, because that means that 50
Yes.
are supporting homeopathy, all of us. That's a beautiful
Yeah.
thing. Then what is the present situation in the uh, teaching methodology of homeopathy in your country? Whether
Yeah.
people assemble you people are arranging classes, or whether the medical council is doing anything such that.
Hmm. So at the moment, like in my case, we have our groups of colleagues, and we still are meeting, exchanging our knowledge, which is very nice here in our country. We are also combining with each other. The only thing which we can clearly say, we don't have the young generation who is so much interested, Dr. Danish. Um, at the moment, they are more interested in supplements and
As
uh,
what kind of the support you people get from the public for this homeopathy? Whether the public
well,
are, whether they are, and they know about this homeopathy, most of them, whether not knowing or not.
no, in Germany, um, we have, as I said, we don't have a problem with our patients.
Yes,
Yes. So perhaps I'm not sure, but I have my clinic here since 30 years, and it's always growing, always growing. Also in Corona times now because of inflation of the war in Ukraine, people have less money. No problem. It's always going. And what I feel is we have a lack of medical doctors. No, we have it's a demographic thing also. We have lack of people who can work as doctors. We have lack of people who work nurses in the hospital. That's a problem. So our medical students, when I was a medical student, I had time to have interest for other things. Nowadays, they have to work so hard and study so much and so quickly, they don't have the head for other ways. But Dr. Danish, I don't have a doubt that in the next years it will come again. And there's one also very interesting thing going on. We are expecting, um, how you say, we are expecting um, problems with antibiotics, that the antibiotics in the future will not work.
yes, yes, exactly. That's a
Yes.
reason why. What is the uh, uh,
And Dr. Danish, in this point, we are in the moment we are providing studies. We are providing studies from hospitals, including medical doctors in their clinics, and to show, and this is known to the politics. It was shown before also that homeopathic treatment of acute conditions is at least as efficient as allopathic antibiotics. So the politicians knows that here in our country. So we will go on with these studies, and I'm sure in the next 10 years things will change again.
Yes, yes, definitely. The Indian Parliament has discussed about the systems, eye systems, particularly about homeopathy. Lot of MPs talked for homeopathy, and they even shared their experience with the homeopathy. And even I still remember one minister himself from the allopathic side told the Parliament that he was saved from a big disease in the chest by homeopathic physician. And so most of the people aware about homeopathy, even in our local area, homeopathy is flourishing like anything. There are even in 2 kilometers, square kilometers, you can find at least 10 homeopathic doctors practicing. And
That's great.
all
That's
are
a paradise, Dr. Danish. It's a paradise.
yes, that's right. That's why Kerala is becoming the hub of, Kerala is a very, very small state. just having 3.5 crores of people sitting together or living together, and they're thickly populated area, and having people are having very high education rather than any part of the India, just like US standard, the people's knowledge education is concerned. That's what the reason why most of the people are working in other part of the world with high qualification. But even
Yes.
we are getting all kind of patients, not only poor patients, all varieties. This way, even from big guns are coming for homeopathy, because whenever usually people visit the specialists in the beginning, and when they find that it is very difficult to they are the situation become more and more difficult for them to cure, then naturally some people may advise, oh, why can't you go to that particular doctor, he is a specialist in that respect. That's why people used to visit us, and we have lot of homeopathic doctors, but you know that Dr. Ramadevi Ambadi, Dr. Shanta Chandran in Kerala, Dr. Dilip Kumar, all these fellows are having a lot of infertility successful cases in the kitty. More than they are having more than 1,000 to 2,000 cases, successful cases in their kitty. That is a.
Great. Yeah.
Then there are doctors who are having more than 100 to 200 patients per day. There are, but an average of 10 to 30, I must say. Most of the doctors are having an average of 10 to 30 patients a day. That's the sign here. And the season is about to begin, because acute diseases are supposed to most of the people are visiting homeopathic doctors for acute disease also, because when you are able to cure a chronic case, naturally the family of the patient or patient family members of the patient always start using homeopathy, and they become addicted to
Yes.
homeopathy. Am I right?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
how. Then even in government sector, we are having lot of service with the government. At the government sector, we have five medical homeopathic medical college itself, with the 5.5 year courses, and then we have MD courses in homeopathy with 3 years with the stipend, and then now PhD courses in homeopathy also be started. That means homeopathy is just like any other medical profession. That's become a separate entity, and not with the support of any other allopathic school, but it's become a separate entity itself. And we have more than 40 homeopathic hospitals with minimum 25 to 30 beds that are there. And we even one cancer hospital is there in Malappuram under the government sector. And there are separate specialist clinics in different part of this Kerala. In all districts, we have infertility clinics in under government sector, then diabetic clinic, learning disability clinics, then so-called adulthood clinic, named particularly for women or girls. So that kind of specialization is happening in with the homeopathy. That's the reason why the most of the people from other side started barking at homeopathy. Oh,
Yeah.
you people are pseudoscience people, and you are getting all doing all these things. But it's a absolutely nonsense to spend so much of money for this unscientific system. But frankly, people always come support of us, and they demand more and more hospitals and dispensaries, and that's why the growth of
Nice. That's nice.
not only that,
Yes.
we have organizations in Kerala. That is one of the institution of homeopathy Kerala is one of the most number having most number of doctors in that group, and there is another IHMA, and Indian Homeopathic Medical Association, and then we have private QFA, Qualified Homeopathic Medical Association, like that. So many associations. All the associations are running at least once a scientific seminar once in a month, and every 3 months we have state seminars where more than 500 to 700 doctors attending regularly, and there at a minimum of each of these medical associations are doing such services. So all the doctors are always running for the classes to study how much knowledge they can have for the betterment of system. So most, and in the early part of our career, nobody revealed their secret. They thought that these are my own personal property, so I won't sell it.
Yeah.
Things are entirely different now. Everybody tried is has started off stay coming out and ready to share their experience, and that's a thing that is happened the present time. Yes.
That's very important, Dr. Danish. I like to hear this. Congratulations, because so important to open yourself to your colleagues and to share. And Dr. Danish, I would like to have a practical question.
Yes.
Yes, I was in Buenos Aires, and because of the change of climate, they had a dengue fever over there. Normally they don't have, but they had dengue fever. So I don't have experience with dengue fever. I know that Eupatorium could be an option. Do you treat dengue fever in India? And how is it with a second infection?
Yes, let me say, when not only we are treating, I was having this the so-called dangerous disease dengue some 7 to 8 years back, and I took my own treatment first, and when the platelet become nearly 50,000, then I called my guru or my friend. He's a senior to me, and then I described him that doctor, I have this much of problem, and I took these medicines. Then he told me that I have a doubt whether it is I am an Arnica patient or a Baptisia patient. This is the confusion in me. Then he told me that you can go with the Baptisia 200 dose. I took the Baptisia 200 on the same very next day itself, and next morning, and within 2 days everything was over. Even my daughter, she was a student of MBBS at the medical students at final year, and her professors always criticize her, and ask her to go home and take me to the hospital
Yes,
for treatment. But
yes.
I still
And,
don't.
and Dr. Danish, what kind of symptoms you had for baptisia?
Don't bother about the name of the disease. This is what we homeopaths has to look into. What I would like to share is that when the symptoms are just like I was having severe pain, but I feel body is getting very, very dull, and I could not move about. But when just like there was a chilliness, and the shivering also was there. But heaviness was also there. But I am having thirsty and restless. So I thought it is a case of Rustox in the beginning.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
took a dose of Rustox alone, and but later, when I sent the symptoms, then after taking these Rustox, I found that there are a little bit of some prickly heat like eruptions coming on my body. So that also is an indication of this disease. So I just went, asked the lab technician to come out to my home, and they were very near to my home. And there is a laboratory. They took my blood and confirmed it's a case of dengue fever. And all the IgG and all those tests were done, and it's confirmed. So I took leave from my hospital clinic and took rest in my home. And in the first 2 days, I found it very difficult to sleep also. But after some 3 to 5 days, everything became normal. In those time, I just simply took so-called rice kanji. We used to say kanji, that rice cooked with a lot of water in it, and
Yeah.
that's what we used to take kangi, and then a lot of fruits also. When I was able to eat the fruits, I just took some fruits, but, the pumpkins, then this papaya, all those things were there in our area. So I have no problem in eating all those things. So
Mm-hmm.
within 1 week, everything was over, and after 7 days, within 7 days, I just went to my clinic and started practicing again. Even while I was taking rest in my home, I have a, I was able to communicate with my patients over phone, and giving medicines by my pharmacist give medicines to all the patients. So that's how we can manage those patients with dengue. Whether I still remember a case of a dengue case when the patient was
Dr. Danish, sorry, could I ask you that, because that was a very important question for me. Um, in Argentina, they
yes.
told us, if you have, okay, you have dengue the first time. Okay, normally it's not a big problem. But if you get it a second time, it could be lethal. You could die from it. Do you agree with that opinion?
Actually, that is what is written in all the textbook. But frankly, as a homeopathy physician, we can say we can about that thing. That's what we can say, that you have a rain last year, you can have rain this year, and later you can have rain in the coming years also. But don't get afraid of the thunderstorms during this kind of rainy season. So this is what
Yes.
I have to say. There is no need of worrying about that. It may become danger, but the thing is that what I have seen outside is that if you take a homeopathic medicine, you will not get the dengue for the next time, just like chicken pox.
Ah.
I have a chicken pox when I was doing my house urgency. That means it was about some 38 years back, or 40 years back, nearly 40 years back. But I used to visit almost all the pox patients in their home in the early part of my career. Every day I used to have at least three to five patients in the season, particularly in summer season. But in Kerala, these are a regular habit. Everywhere the season is not at all a matter in Kerala, because we have, as I told in the early part, that the most of the people are outside. A lot of people are walking outside the country, and because of that, they used to visit the country back at any time. And during the festival time, people get all these kind of diseases, particularly during Sabarimala season. A lot of people from North India are coming in Kerala, and at the time we have conjunctivitis, this kind of chicken pox, and all those diseases are coming. This is what I would like to say. Well, frankly, when how I started my treatment in this dengue case, I must say that once a patient was brought to the home, and they called me that, doctor, I was suffering from his wife is suffering from this dengue, and she is in a very tired, very critical condition, and the doctor said that you told them that you can better take her home and take rest, like that. But then when I visited the home, what I found that she was trembling in chilliness. She is sleeping there. The first question she asked me, doctor, whether I will survive or not,
Mm.
whether whether I may go for die, whether I may death may call me, like that. Then I told her, don't worry, we can manage it. The medicine, if you can easily say that what can be the medicine. Fear of that, and the patient was lying, like, and the medicine given was arsenic after 200. No,
Mhm.
arsenic alcohol was given. Because in those conditions, I never give arsenic alcohol. 30, because that may, in my experience, it may give a negative result. But if you go to the higher level, that will work in a beautiful way. And you know what happened within 2 days? Everything, she was perfectly all right, and she was able to walk around, and she was able to mingle with us. So that was the first case. I can probably say that I have at that time she was positive also, negative positive also. Within
Mhm.
5 days, she became negative, and she was very because when she was there in the hospital, day by day, her condition was getting worse, and she is not having this fear of death. She was hearing that somebody in the other room died like that. So she want to run away from the home hospital itself. That's what the patient, the bystanders told me. And so this is how a homeopath treat, whether the case is a chickenpox or dengue fever or the chikungunya. I must say something about chikungunya. Chikungunya first become a pandemic in the Kerala, and it happens in Alapi district, in our district at that time. And I was the district president of our association called the Institution of Homeopaths Kerala. So our friends from other officials, senior officials, told me that you have to take control of the situation. You have to move to the public, and you have to give public awareness classes. And what then? It was just like anything, like fever. We just started giving medicine, Rostov, Subitorium, Gelsemium, arsenic, as per the symptoms. What we noted that at that time there was nearly 100 to 150 to 200 deaths were happening in Kerala. And people were frightened of this particular disease. So what we took was that after giving this medication, within 3 days, patients were able to walk without any problem. So what I did was, we took a recording of a one-day patients from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then we took another video from after 3 days. You can see the changes in patients. Not only that, we have to show the other doctors what are the signs and symptoms from our observation, because at the Kerala, it hit vigorously in Kerala, in Alapi district, our district itself. So we were able to produce a video with the professional itself. I called from a professional videographer from a studio, and he took all this thing and he edited, and then we took these videos to the public. That is the press club in Alpi, and where we undertook a press meeting, and we show these things to the press media person. And then the very next day they published these things in the newspaper's front page itself, that homeopathy has a solution and a treatment and preventive for homeopathy. That is the first time such a big heading happens with homeopathy. So what I want to say is that you need to take evidences with you. That is because that kind of evidence was the real reason. They were impressed with the evidence. Then we were able to show all these cases in the in our professional offices, the police officers association office, their office, then district court, all those people, wherever they high big people are there, we used to make them aware that this is what is chikungunya, and this is how homeopathy manage these kind of diseases. So that's what we can do with homeopathy. So it was then what do you know what happened on the after going the news in all these papers and channels? What happens? There were people rush towards homeopathic doctors. There were homeopathic doctors who stopped practice, but they were able to restart their homeopathy practice because of this chikungunya. And not only that, the popularity of homeopathy become flush like anything like that. So not only that, even allopathic doctors started directing the patients to homeopathy. So that's what we can do with homeopathy. This is what I would like to add to this. I think Dr. Boblim is there. You want to please, or Dr. Amir Malik is not able to join us. Dr. Boblim, are you busy or not? Yes, Dr. Beatrice, we can continue.
I'm drinking cha with Dr. Ram too. See, Dr. Ram and me, we are drinking chai.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay, that's a very good sharing, Dr. Danesh. I think because I think Dr. Navik is not around for reasons best known to him. So supposed to have a session today, but this sharing is very good. You cover up for him very, very well. And especially, it's very beneficial to hear from your own views and experience.
Yes.
And what are the remedies that you use for the chikungunya in Kerala that day?
Yes, in the early part, we used to give Eupitoria perfoliatum 200 as the preventive, and
Equatorium.
But in some other district it was Bryonia later on, and some other part it is Rostock. But we cannot say that it is the specific for that. The Because the symptoms, as you know that as a homeopath, we will have to look into the patient, whether the patient is having restless during fever, or the patient want to lie down fever. If the patient is lying down and want to take rest during fever without any problem, then you can think of bryonia, and he like fanning, he like cold water. But in case of Rostox, it is entirely on the contrary, it is different. The patient always want to take hot water, and that too in large quantity, always want to move about, and will not, if he take rest, he may get pain, but if he is able to move here and there, he may have a little bit of relief, and he don't want to have fanning, but he always want to wear his clothes. But then you might think of arsenic alba, but arsenic alba is having the same situation, but the patient is mentally restless, not physically. So because of the anxiety, he want to move about here and there, and he's always want somebody in near. He may afraid of the death, and he may take only one sip of water, not the full glass of water. But in case of Rostov's, the patient used to take at least minimum 2 to 3 glasses at a time, sometimes, and at least one glass full. That's the basic difference between these two patients. And of course, in case of phosphorus also, you can think of phosphorus also is a very good remedy in those conditions, because phosphorus used to take lot of cold water, and the cold water not only give him relief, not only he is satisfied with this cold water, even if he take cold water, his disease condition will improve. So we never give to the advice that you don't take cold water. You must take cold water. No, it is not homeopathy. You can allow your patient, whether the patient is tolerant to take this cold water, you can allow him. If the patient is not able to take this hot water, cold water, and the condition is worsening, we can ask the patient better to stop the taking cold water for the time being, and then if you are enough, uh, uh, if you are fit enough to take cold water, you can take it. For example, that's a the pulsarilla patient and and phosphor patient can take ice cream. They won't get fever, but if at all they get fever in pulsarilla, it is not because of the coldness, but it is because of the fat inside the ice cream. That may be the reason. And sometimes the fatty food make these problems for arsenic pulsatilla patients. And at the same time, the same thing can happen with the arsenic. But arsenic, the basic difference is that It is the spoiled meat that produce a problem in arsenic, not the real meat. So when a patient want to take meat and everything during fever, you can allow him. No need of banning. Oh, you don't take fever or these kinds of things during fever. That's not homeopathy. You can allow. But if the patient want it and he can tolerate it, we can allow. If the patient is not, don't force a patient to eat egg during fever. If the patient desires and he craves, we can allow. That's why in calcarea patients and pulsatilla, we can allow them to eat meat as well as the egg. This is the basic difference we can do with our patients. Am I right?
Yes, yes, very good. Thank you, Dr. Dhanesh.
It,
Mm.
there are people who used to come and say that, doctor, I took this potato curry and I have this problem. I cannot tolerate the peas, and whenever I took this peas, I am having this problem. In those conditions, we can think of lycopodium. Lycopodium will
Mhm.
work in a better way. But if the person took a big meal with vegetable food and having this problem in the abdomen, then we can think of Naxomia. People used to Naxomia is always patient always can tolerate this vegetable in a non-vegetarian diet, but of course he may not be able to tolerate the vegetarian diet. That is one of the basic difference in Naxomia also. But the mental symptoms of Naxomia and also are entirely different, as you know. Assuming a busy person and always outbursting person, always having always busy with her work and all those things. But Parsat is entirely very, very mild, gentle. And so these are the mental situation that makes the basic difference between two patients, whether they you so you can catch all these patients within a short time when they come visit you. Just answer only 3 to 5 questions. Will In the early part of my career, I used to take half an hour for even in acute diseases. But and now it's only just a fraction of 3 minutes. We can conclude the big case. Whether it be, just look at the patient for whether the tip of the tongue is also giving an indication. Yeah, that even just when off on the face itself, you can say triangular rectopin Rostov's. If it is confirmed, then there is no need of further questions alone. That is what we can as the rare, peculiar, uncommon characteristic of the patient. That is what we can see. And in some other cases, when you open the mouth of the patient, you can see the foul smell coming, very offensive, cadaver smell. Then we can think of creosote like that. If the patient is always running here and there and not taking rest, moving around, then we can think of a remedy which is overactive. We can think of a tuberculum like that. Or some patients used to say, doctor, oh, I have this pain when I start when in the morning itself. So it's a very painful for me. But after sometimes I may get a relief, and then that itself is it's an indication for lachesis. Once you start talking to the patient, then you can see that the patient will take you somewhere where some other world itself. That is the beauty of a lachesis patient. If the patient is in front of you and you start simply asking a question, then he will take you. Oh, doctor, when I was there, I have this problem, and then after that, I took my BHMS, then I took my MD from some other. But then I want to visit you, Dubai. This presented a paper there. Then I come back to India and I took a class there. And like that, he will talk, and then from homeopathy, he may go to politics, or even he may talk about, oh, your election time is showing which party will win the hair, whether the BJP will win or the Congress will win what is the situation, whether you are active in or not. Like that, he will take you. Then what are the numbers there? Like that, the subject also will be changing. That is the locality of the lachesis patient. So this is how a homeopathic doctor can, if you know that at least 20 to 25 quality plus in this way, you will be able, you will be a winner with homeopathy. I must say, you can win the heart of the patients because that's what I would like to add. Okay.
And also gelsemium, Dr. Dhanesh, gelsemium is also such a good remedy.
Yes,
Huh?
yes, I forgot to mention. When I just you, oh, doctor, I'm very weak. Oh, shall I sit here? I'm having pain here. I'm having, oh, how much I so for the last 3 days, I am suffering from this, doctor. Shall I sit here? Oh, what a headache, doctor. I'm having severe headache. I'm suffering. I have no sleep. I'm very tired. I sometimes feel I may go into giddiness, doctor. This is the typical classical picture of and Gelsemium. So you can identify the Gelsemium patient from the very within 2 to 3 minutes alone. You will be.
Yes, and what I feel for gelsemium with my
Yes,
patient, which is very typical, they have the headaches, but it starts here in the back,
it's
in the
definitely
neck.
going
Yeah,
down.
it starts here, and they're very heavy, everything is, but this was the first point. So,
It's a
and they're
trans.
not so thirsty, they don't drink so much,
Yes,
like
yes.
bryonia.
Yes,
Hmm.
it is coming down. So also the belladonna also very good remedy in all this kind of way. You can from the very observation. Oh, doctor, this child was playing since morning. All of a sudden she become ill, and you see what is that kind of? Oh, it's a very 103 or 104. You feel like then as a homeopath, you just put your hand like here and put the another hand on your feet. You can see the typical case of belladonna. The head is hot, feet is cold. That is
That's good.
that's a,
Uh-huh.
within minutes you can identify it's a typical case of classical. Oh, the patient was severe in agony. The patient was very active till fever. All of a sudden, that the suddenness of is what we can say about belladonna. Belladonna. All of a sudden, it become and you look at the face, you can see the redness, red face, red lip, everything red, even even the eyes are red, but the patient is lying like a log, like this. So that is so all in those conditions you can there is no need, no other medicine is required. You can just give a dose of belladonna because the intensity of the disease, the hitting is very high. So you can choose the belladonna. One is there. One will do wonders in acute diseases because that is the powerful. That is the power of one potencies in those situations. So all those, so you can also differentiate anti-tart because hey, doctor, this child was having treatment from the here, there, and you see the his CSR is increasing. So the patient, she cannot tolerate any more allopathy. That's why that is the fever threatening pneumonia. That is the condition. A typical, we can say that if you look at the mouth of the patient, the tongue of the patient, you can see the patient tongue is coated white and the patient is extremely tired also with the intensity. These are the three things together differentiate the anti-tart patient from any other patient. So a single dose of anti-tart can bring back the patient to normal. Even if it is going towards pneumonia, you can bring back the pneumonia to normal level within 48 hours. That is what a homeopathic drug called anti-tart can do. I used to give anti-tart 30 to those people because 30 is because it's an organ problem. It is going to affect the organ, the lungs. So you can a remedy which is having more less potency. That is 6 or 30 is good, but I used to give this 30th potency to anti-data. So I got a lot of reputations by using this anti-tart as a remedy. So this is I would like to add about this anti-tart also. So
Yes, antimonium tartaricum here is also very, very great remedies for the children. I just was treating a pneumonia of a 3 months old, and the child was in the hospital. They did not do a lot, but with antimonium tartaricum, the mother was calling me twice a day. She's 30, was going well.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, not we can cure the patient. Not only by curing that, you will get lot of patients, because people around the family of the child is always watching what they are going to do with homeopathy, and so
Mm-hmm.
or I have seen it several times, because there are patients come to our clinic saying that, doctor, this child has having pneumonia thrice within 1 year also, and so we are afraid of, we are taking we are giving all this kind of medicine from this doctor, that doctor, like that, and after that still she is having a regular fever. In those conditions, what I used to do is just give it to dose of tuberculum in the beginning, tuberculum 1 month in the beginning. Then, sorry, one please wait. I have a problem with my battery. I have to connect it. I forgot to connect it. Okay. Okay, that's the beauty of homeopathy, sharing knowledge and sharing experience. That's how we all become very good doctors, because these associations we used to conduct at least once in a month. We have a regular sessions in district level, state level, like that. So sitting together and discussing cases will definitely win homeopathy for us.
Very good, Dr. Danish. That's the future. I mean, in that case, we don't need antibiotics, and we
Yes,
can give hope and safety to the patients.
yes, yes. That's the reason why most of the people who use homeopathy never go for this antibiotic. But only even in case of emergency, if they want to take allopathic medicine, it will works very quickly, because they are using for it for the first time. Maybe we have seen
Mm-hmm.
cases also, because sometimes our patients may on a travel plan, or sometimes they may forget to take the medicine, and in those circumstances there is no scope for homeopathy chance for getting this medicine, and then in those situations sometimes they may have to take the allopathic medicine, and they may get a brilliant cure all of a sudden. But what happens is that then they may come back home, and sometimes they may go for, when the fever come for the next day, they may visit for an allopathy doctor. Things become negative again. Then they will have to come back to us and say that, doctor, oh, I took this medicine because of that, and then I have to come back to homeopathy because the medicine is not working now. That's
Mm-hmm.
why.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we need such support from all of us. Then
Yes, that's true. That's true.
then whether you people give any specific food restrictions during acute management of acute diseases, or whether you people
Did you
are,
did you ask me, Dr. Dane?
yes, yes.
Yes, what was the question? I did not understand.
Whether you give much importance to food during fever cases, or management of acute diseases.
To fever cases, yes, we have, yes. I am a family doctor. I have a lot of fever cases, and I also agree. If you are good in in the treatment of acute conditions, people trust you. They will come back. They come also for chronic cases. I will also give two presentations for Dr. Marian Salcedo at the University at Loyola in Bolivia about acute conditions, because I also want to get the practical notes as you did today. It doesn't seem so difficult, but we have to know the difference between the remedies. You did very well, Dr. Danish. That, this, and here we are going. Mhm.
It's, now here in Kerala, we have a lot of jaundice cases coming in, and lot of the viral hepatitis is here, and
Uh-huh.
some part of Kerala. Because
Mhm.
it was a heavy summer here, and water become a big threat to people. That is
Mhm.
the reason. But unfortunately, we people were able to not publish these things to the people. Now we are unable to make people aware about that the homeopathy can do such things, because nowadays some government machinery started working for that.
Mhm. Mhm.
So this is what we I think. Anything to add to this session? You want to add anything more? Because Dr. Anamir Malik was not able to attend the session, we were able to have a chat. I was forced to take the session. Talking about
There's always something interesting to talk about, Dr. Dhanesh. Yes? That's
Anyway, we discussed a lot of things. Of course, we can discuss many more things in the future about homeopathy. And as you know, the pandemic really bring more patients to homeopathy, because in the
Mhm.
there are lots of problems with the vaccination, and that even still people are aware about these things. Very recently, the COVID firm has confirmed that they have some mistake in giving this vaccine, all those things. Yeah, this is the
Mhm.
first time they come out and come forward and accept the theory of homeopathy. We used to say from the very, very beginning that it is not at all a must, and it is not at all a vaccine that will protect you from this COVID. But frankly, now the company and people agree what we told in those days. I didn't took any vaccine. Most of us in the Zoom not taken any vaccine, but still we are surviving without any problem. But those who took vaccination for this COVID are still suffering from some problems. This is what I would like to add to this session. Anyway, now let us invite Dr. Boblin to say what of thanks to the session. As a regular person, he used to.
Yeah, actually, I want to share a short case lah. Because when you were talking about chikungunya, there was this lady who came to my clinic, my place. She was asking, say whether I can treat her. I say, for what? They say I have chikungunya, and I went to the hospital. They give me all kind of medicine. It doesn't work. So she was very, very nasty. Some patient, they complain a lot about the medicine given. And they say, lousy medicine they gave to me, it doesn't work at all. I'm still in pain. They gave me all the painkiller also. So I said, okay, how do you know that I can treat you? He said there's a shop, the hardware shop, the owner, the boss, told me that you can treat chikungunya. They have treated people before. Yeah, there was an epidemic that happened many years back. So I said, okay, I will give you this medicine. And you know that lady, she's first time she's taking homeopathy medicine, so she's very skeptical. Uh, how long you think I can get well? You think I can get well? Because hospital cannot help her, and she's also very skeptical about the homeopathy. I say, how long can you get well? So I say, if everything is normal and the medicine works for you, it's about 3 days to 5 days you will recover. I told her lah. So luckily for me, she recovered within 3 days. So that was a very good boost up for homeopathy in my place at that time. Okay, and think it is a very good session today. On behalf of the International Forum for Homeopathy, I would like to say a big thank you to our host, Dr. Dhanesh, and our co-host, Dr. Beatrix GESNER, Dr. and Dr. Nick, those doctors that have joined in our session. Dr. Ram, I saw just now, and those who have participated in tonight's discussion, even though it's a small group discussion, I think that was a very good knowledge. Also not forgetting my colleague from Malaysia, Maslina. She always follow the webinar most of the night without fear. So, and a big thank you to Dr. Dhanesh and the group of the Homoeopathy International Forum for Homoeopathy, IFPH, for continuing or to organize this webinar without fear. And also my regards to the next session, Malayalam session, with all the doctors there who are already joined in our group. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you.
Over to you, Dr. Dhanesh.
Thank you, Dr. Bob Lim. Tomorrow we will have a session from Dr. Vaidehi Kumari Gupta, and she will be talking about a doctrine of the signature. Thank you all for joining such a wonderful session. We have discussed many things, including the scope of homeopathy, the past, the present situation in Germany, and all those things. And thank you all for joining this session once again. Good night, and we can meet at the same time tomorrow. It's over to Dr. P. Shaila to moderate the Malayalam session.